Welcome to story time. I'm going to carry on reading Killer Energy. And I'm going to read from where we left off. So give me a minute to find out where that was. Okay, found it. I think that was where we were up to. I'm hoping I haven't missed anything, but this is where we're going to go from today. This page. Sorry about that. How rude of me. Very rude indeed. Sorry. That was rude, wasn't it? So, no. This chapter is called Horribly Powerful Fuel. Without fuel or the energy stored in fuel, the world would grind to a chilly halt. Fuels like gas, oil, coal and petrol store the vital energy that keeps you warm and cooks your supper. Good old fuel. So in this picture they're talking about the fireplace. Too much saliva. Horrible fuel. Talking about petrol. Horrible. But we need it. Trouble in store. But fuels are just one way in which energy can be stored. Here are some other ways to store energy, which are just about to cause disaster for the world's most accidental prone teacher. One that like this accidents. And it's saying, hi! The Adventures of Put Upon Phil. So we're on to this bit now. This rock has potential energy, that stored energy for the future so it can wobble. Fall down. The elastic rope stored movement energy as it stretches. Bungee jump. Oops. The bungee broke. In this picture, the bungee had broken. That's not good. The spring inside this cannon stores energy. Boing. Now I have lot of potential energy. Where's the safety net? There's nothing to fall into. That's not good. The way this bomb stores energy is fascinating. The spring in this clock stores energy from the wind. And the dynamite stores chemical energy. Of course, it's quite safe. Boom! That's it. I quit. Oops. That's not good. Not good at all. Fuel facts. For thousands of years, the only fuel for most people was wood to burn in fires. Open fire provides light and heat to roast a juicy hunk of dead mammoth. But around 3000 BC, an Egyptian invented the candle. No one knows this person's name, but it was a flaming good idea. Here's how it works. Give me a second to connect. So we're talking about this candle. 1. Pardon me. The wax. The first candle used solid animal fat energy. Sorry. Fact number 2. Heat energy from the flame melts the wax. Fact number 3. Melted wax is drawn up the wick. Fact 4. Further heat energy turns the wax to gas. Fact 5. The gas burns. Fact 6. Flame gives off light and heat energy. Fact 7. Burnt moth supplied extra energy. Flaming heck. The moth was not meant to be there. There was only meant to be 6 facts. Oops. T-big moth. They like light. They fly into any light source there is. So, obviously a candle. Now, the great thing about candles is that you can move them around, so they were really useful to take with you to bed if you were scared of the dark in the days before electricity. But you still need to make a flame to light the candle. Traditionally, people struck pieces of metal and flint to make sparks. But what was needed was a striking new idea. In the 1850s, Swedish inventor John Lundstrom invented the matches still used today. The energy is stored in the side of the box in the form of phosphorus. This substance burns when heated by the energy of the match striking the side. If the match doesn't light it properly on strike. Laughter. Zzz, zzz. Even brighter than the others. Top strike. Match of the day. They're talking about that picture there. Anyway, phosphorus was discovered in 1669 in a revolutionary fashion. This story may shed some light on the subject. A glow in the dark. Hamburg, Germany, 1677. Yes, murmur. I'll tell you everything. Since you're the mayor, perhaps you can right this wrong. And with those words, the old woman settled herself on a stool by the mayor's fireplace and began a story. Now that picture there. I'm going to leave it there for a little while, just for me. Then I'm going to come back and read the next bit of it. See you in a few minutes. So now back to the book. I'm going to read 4 more pages and that will be enough for this video. Then I'll carry. So now back to the book. going to read 4 more pages and that will be enough for this video. Then I'll carry. I'm going to start that page again, but I got a bit confused. So if it sounds like I've done a bit before, maybe I got confused. So here goes. Sir, I'll be honest. My master, Enning Brendit, is not a good man. He is rude to us servants and groveled to people richer than himself. He married his first wife for her money, and by the time she died, he spent it on science experiment. I'm not one to gossip, but it's said he married the present bride Brenda for her money too. So he was really into money. He always trying to make gold from cheap materials. What's that? He's an alchemist. Why, yes, that's what he calls himself. One dark evening, I was passing my master's laboratory. I was taking a clean sweep to his room. Oh dear, what a mess my master makes of his clothes with all those chemicals. And the smell from that room are better left imagined. He had buckets of, how can I put it politely, it was wee rotten in some experiment. Rotten wee bong. So very stinky. So that's the picture. The old woman screwed up her face in disgust. Of course we servants weren't allowed to clean in there, but the stink was horrible enough. Then I heard his voice, thinking he was calling me. I crept to the door, but my master was talking to himself. It's clothes, I hear him say. It's the secret of how to make gold, and I found it. That's the servant. I peered into the room. It was dark, but I could see his fat, excited face in a strange light that came from a glowing flask. Then he saw me, and in a second he had me by my throat. He slapped my face once, twice, for all his fat. He's a big, strong man. He told me that he'd do terrible things if I dared to tell anyone what I'd seen. I promised I wouldn't. I had to, didn't I? That picture on that page. There. I'll go on phone in a minute. And true to my word, I kept this secret for 6 years. I always think that a good servant sees everything and says nothing. And all that time, my master tried to make gold from the substance. He tried and failed and tried and failed until he had spent all his wife's money. So he got poor again. We began to be pestered by alchemists who wanted the secret of the glowing substance. How they heard of it, I can't say, but my master hadn't taken to boasting of his discovery in tavern, and to think he had sworn me to silence. There was a crack and shower of spark. I leapt up the chimney from a log on the fire. The woman gave a little gasp and looked up in alarm, as if expecting to see her master's angry face. Then she continued her story. One night, master was visited by a Harcraft. He offered to give my master money in return for the secret, But my master was sly as well as greedy. He wouldn't tell Harcraft how he made the glowing material, but he promised to sell what he had. He added with a low laugh that he could make plenty more. Taking a quick drink. Last 2 pages, I'm done for now. I wanted to tell Harcraft that the substance was made of wheat, but I was afraid of my master's temper. So I sat quietly with my sewing. Suddenly there was a pounding on the door. Pound, pound, pound. There's the picture. It was her uncle. He was an alchemist who had called to see the strange substance a few days before Harry Gunkel also wanted to buy some of the chemicals, but my master told him rudely that he failed to make any more. I heard my master whisper, "Yes, it's made of wheat. Now go away." Then, looking flustered, he came back and closed this deal with Harcraft. After Harcraft left, my master began to dance. Soon he was slapping his legs and laughing fist to burst. His friend, the innkeeper, came round, and my master ordered me to fetch wine. After a bottle or two, my master was drunk. Last page, then I'm done for the day. His fat face shone red and shiny in the firelight, and his voice was loud and slurred as he boasted of how he had tricked Harcraft and Hargunkel. The innkeeper leaned forward and prodded my master's belly. "So what's this substance made of, you old crook?" My master exploded with laughter until his chins wobbled. "We," he snorted, "left to rot and heated until it's just a white powder at the bottom of a flask. Then heated again, $200. Just think of it, $200 silver dollars for a pot of wheat." And that one time at the innkeeper and the other one at the scientist. And I just got that bit to read, then I'm done for the day. My master laughed until he rocked back and forwards. Then he wiped his wet lips and clumsily tapped his nose. "Remember, old friend, not a word of this," he hissed. "Well, sir, I am sure you've heard what happened next. It was the talk of Hamburg." Alice, let me finish. Lie down. Sorry about that, my dog going away. Hargunkel made his own glowing substance, and they do say that Harcraft made a fortune showing it to kings and queens all over Europe. And now Gunkel and Kraft are telling everyone that they discovered the chemical. My master was in a full mood for days. He's been unbearable. And that's why I am here to testify that my master Henning Brett made discovery first. Thank you for listening to the story so far. I'll carry on probably tomorrow or the next day, so stay tuned. Bye, awesome.